Alright guys, what it do? It's your boy X coming to you guys with another video, and in today's video we're going to do a dividend portfolio update. Because if you haven't watched my last video, which I wish you did, if you haven't, please mess with your boy, try to get that watch time. But if you didn't watch it, pretty much I came up with the idea to use M1 borrow as a way to increase my dividend portfolio. How? Because if you use M1 Plus, which is the membership, that's like $125 a year, you get to borrow against your portfolio at a discounted rate. And the discount rate is 2.25%. Now, without the M1 Plus, you still can do this, but you'll just borrow at a higher percent. I think it's 3. But with the Plus, 2.25. So this is what I did, and I think it can really help my portfolio. So pretty much my idea with this strategy is, like I said, to make more in dividends a year versus how much I will pay in interest. Whatever the excess money is, I get to keep. Of course, it's going to get reinvested into the portfolio, but the goal here is to allocate as much money as I personally can, plus the dividends, and we should be able to get to that grand figure of 100,000 fairly quicker than I would have just me throwing in my money. But I did something with the portfolio, so let's get into today's video. Alright guys, so if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please consider doing that. Why? I mean, don't you want to see what happened with the portfolio? I want to show you, so just hit that subscribe button. Like this video if you enjoy my content. If you have any questions, you can always leave them just in the description. Appreciate you. But like I said again, the initial, if you watch my last video, I was going to borrow $10K to dive into my M1 Finance dividend portfolio. Now, I borrowed the money, but I borrowed $14,000. So it's pretty high. I borrowed $14,000 against my portfolio and reinvested it. Like I said, I am using the M1 Plus features, so I'm gonna have to pay 2.25% of that, and that's pretty sick. What I want to show you guys is, if you actually use the M1 borrow feature, it actually show you what you're projected to actually pay a month.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Let me show it to you guys. All right, guys. So as you can see, I borrowed $14,000 and reinvested into my portfolio. If you can see on the screen, it's projected that my bill would be $23.89 a month, which is crazy. That's wild that for me to borrow $14K only would cost me $23 a month. Like, the potential of this is outrageous to me. So I borrowed it, and it's wild. But if you're looking at the screen right here, you'll see where it says I still am able to borrow $2K. Now, when I initially borrowed, it said I can borrow like 12. So I borrowed 5, and then I borrowed another 5 later on that day. Then I borrowed 4, and I was like, okay, I borrowed. So big hype about that. Now, if you're interested in investing and you want to get started, or you are thinking about using this strategy, or you just want to know what platform I'm using, check out the links in the description. In the description will be a link to this platform, which is M1 Finance. If you sign up with that link, it will help you get started with like $25 or $50 to help you start your account so you can start investing. So I'm gonna definitely check that out so you can start working on your dividend portfolio. So when I start investing early next week, I'm thinking about trickling in. I know for a fact I can do between $500 and $1,000 next week, so that portfolio can really start to grow. But by my logic here, like I said again, if I let this run to the end of the year, I really won't pay that much, but the amount of money I'm able to add in over the course of this year would be double what I borrowed. So I'm not saying everybody should do this strategy. I'm only comfortable doing it because I know I'm going to allocate such large portions of money to the portfolio. So before you do this or consider it, use your own judgment. Make sure it's something that works for you. Like I said, I know how much I'm going to be piling into the stock, so I can do this. But like I said, just don't go out and borrow all this money and just do ranging. Just don't go out borrow and just start doing random things with the money. Like I said, I only borrow mine to reinvest back in. I wouldn't dare borrow and pull the money out. That's not something I would do, not even in the slightest. I hope you wouldn't either, but if you do, live your best life. Now, as far as the allocations, I allocated majority of this money. 4K went throughout the portfolio, and I put 10 in specifically into QYLED. Now, for those of you who do not know what QYLD is, QYLD is an ETF, but it's an ETF of covered calls. What that means is a lot of investors like myself, y'all put money in this ETF, trade cover calls, and when they make profits, they make decent profits. So they're able to pay us out in dividends monthly at a very high dividend yield. Very, very high. It's a dividend stock, but it's mainly for income. It's not meant for like long-term growth or anything like that. It's mainly used for the income. So that's what QYLD is. Like I said, most definitely checking out. It's a very interesting stock. It is very profitable, but it's a very interesting stock. It is an ETF and they just do cover calls. So if you wondering, that's what QYLED is. Why did I do this? My thought process is if I invest a decent amount into QYLED, that would guarantee me to make the minimum on the borrowed money a year, right? That's on the minimum. Now, as my portfolio starts to grow and my other stocks start producing dividends, all that will be profit for the portfolio, right? But I want to make sure no matter what, because I don't want to lose any money, but no matter what, I want to make sure I come out on top, and investing that little 10 into QYLED to make sure of that, I think was a good play on my part. Like I said, I don't know. I'd love to hear you guys comment, but I did put majority of it in QYLED just for the per payout amount to make sure no matter what, the interest I'm borrowing will only be how I'm thinking of it is. The interest I borrow when I pay over the course of a year would be literally QYLED. It wouldn't be all the QYLED. Like from my math, I think my QYLED, I got like 1,000 shares of it. So it's around $200, which means every month I should get around $200, which means in 1 month of just QYLED, I should squash my actual interest for the year, which I'm happy about. But then that 200 every month, plus what I'm going to be putting in, which is roughly, I'm aiming to put in 2,500 every month. That'll roughly put me around 2,900 a month investing into this portfolio. So it's going to start to grow fairly quick. And what my ideal is, since I allocated so much to QYLED first, it should be past its threshold of the percentages of the portfolio, which means when I invest in and do auto investing, QYLED should never get allocated to. Everything I put in now should go towards the other stocks. But I did that, like I said, for the income, to make sure no matter what, I can squash that. And I think it's going to help me grow my portfolio significantly more quicker than what I could have. So that's what I did with the allocations. Should be able to start back investing, as early as maybe Tuesday next week. I'm very excited about it. But this is what it looked like, guys. If you ever wonder what the N1 borrow feature looks like, if you're interested in it, like I said, if you're interested in it, subscribe to the channel. Why? Because you're going to see me use it in real time. So if it's something you're interested in, you think about using, I don't know how it is, let me be your test dummy. All I ask for is for you to like this video and to subscribe to the YouTube channel. That's all I ask. But stay tuned, guys. It's finna get real. But it's your boy X here, and I'm out.